It's me, Raymond, and I'm back today to bring you another doll review. Don't mind the horns. I'm the devil. So I want to say that this video, I've honestly avoided doing this doll just because of all the controversy surrounding her. Like with Pregnant Midge, that was no big deal, whatever. That's just people overreacting. I do see some fair points with this one, so it's kind of like hard for me to, I guess, get into that. But I was talking with a fellow YouTuber, Dean Reen, who is my friend, and we were showing each other dolls that we had, you know, that sort of thing. And he saw my Share a Smile Becky. And he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you had that doll. You know, why don't you review her? Well, he didn't say it like that because he's Australian anyway. So I'm not going to do my terrible accent. But anyway, he told me that I should just go ahead and do it, like whatever. So I gave it quite a bit of thought because I feel like this is a really heavy topic. Like people take a lot of offense to things, and that's just how it is, and I totally understand. Like, I don't know if I would like a gay doll that, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, I get it. So you want to be represented well, and people didn't think that this doll represented it very well in some ways, or maybe not the doll itself, but just some of the things that Mattel kind of did. So we'll talk about that anyway. So I'll talk about all this before I get to the doll. Now, I was reading some different articles, none of them which are from the time that the doll came out. They're all like blog posts from people, I think, that either are in wheelchairs or just know people in wheelchairs or just whatever. So I read about, so one person said that, you know, most of the consensus here was that Mattel released the doll. It was really groundbreaking, which I totally agree with. I think that this doll is pretty much unprecedented. You know, there really weren't dolls like this at the time, especially from such a mainstream, well-known brand. And for them to do it was incredibly gutsy. And, you know, it just kind of shows the kind of brand they've always really have been, at least in the last 40 years or so. They've tried to be very inclusive and represent all kinds of people. So, yeah. And that even still carries today, despite the quality kind of taking a huge spike. But I digress. So people were saying that while the doll is a really good concept and, you know, well made, etc., the fact that Mattel didn't accommodate her more in the play sets that were from the time, like the Dream House. And I think it was the Dream House that has like the pink and it has like a green roof. I'm pretty sure that was like the Dream House of that time, like 1996, 1997, 1998, like around there. I don't know that era of Barbie that well, and they mentioned an elevator, and that's the only one I can think of from that time with an elevator. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure that's the one they're speaking about. So they said that the house didn't accommodate Becky, and the elevator, she couldn't even fit in the elevator, and all of these things. So people really took offense to that, and they felt like that was kind of wrong of Mattel, like to put out this doll and then not have things to accommodate her. And they were like, it's kind of a cruel joke. You know, it's kind of like a cruel reality in playtime, which I can definitely see. And but people were saying that they kind of got rid of her right away, which they didn't. They made 2 other incarnations of Becky. Somebody said they made another one called Sign Language I Love You Becky, but I think their research failed them. Sorry, whoever you are, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but because that didn't exist. That was another doll, and it wasn't Becky, it was Barbie. So anyway, but they did a school photographer one in, I think, 1998 or 9, and then they did another one in 1999, 2000, somewhere around there, which was Paralympic Becky, and she has like this really cool, like decked out chair, and she's like in this really cool outfit. Anyway, so yeah, they had a couple different incarnations of her. People were also angry that doll houses today, Barbie houses, don't accommodate Becky. Well, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but Becky is 20 years old at this point. She has been discontinued for a very long time. And, you know, you can't really be upset that doll houses aren't accommodating her because she's not on store shelves. Now, if they were still selling her, yes, I can definitely see why you would be upset that Mattel never changed. But you can't bring up that argument because she's not for sale anymore. So, and I would also like to point out that while she didn't fit in the dream house, and this may just totally be a coincidence here, but she does fit in the Barbie Folding Pretty house, which was one of those compact houses, and it's a really well done one. It's like so cool. And it is from, I believe, 1996 or 7. So around the time of her release. And it is compact, and you open it up and it has 3 rooms that kind of fall out, that like they just fold in. It's really cool. And she fits right through the doors into there are 2 different doors and then the door outside, and she fits through all of them. And she, you know, her wheelchair is kind of bulky. So the dollhouse is kind of small because it is a fold house, but she does fit. She does fit, and it does accommodate her pretty well. So maybe people missed that. Maybe that was just a coincidence. I don't really know. But I do, I have that house. And when I play with Becky, I usually play with that house so that she can do that. So I just wanted to get all of that out of the way. I hope that I haven't used any terminology or anything that would offend anybody. And I'm sorry if, you know, Becky or Mattel are sore memories for you. You know, Mattel's whole thing with that. I think their intentions were in the right place. I think that, you know, they're just a large company, and for them to change everything for one doll, I'm sorry to say, but it's kind of hard to do. So while they could have retooled things later, I think that maybe the dolls weren't selling as well. So they just stopped producing her and stopped accommodating her at all. So without further ado, I will actually talk about the doll now that the controversy is out of the way. So this is the adorable Share a Smile Becky. She is the first incarnation of the doll. I actually remember her. I don't know who had her. I don't think it was my sister. I feel like one of my cousins had her, one of my sister's friends, but I totally remember her. And I'm sorry, but I remember making her fly around in her wheelchair like a superhero. So anyway, but yeah, so I have had her for quite a while. I found her at Maxine's Bargain Box, and I debated for a long time whether or not to get her. I really think she's a cute doll. She's really interesting. It's just I don't really like this body style. So first we'll talk about the doll herself. I'm going to take her off of her wheelchair and show you what she is like. So from sitting for a long time, she has one of those like gymnastic kind of bodies. So like where they kind of wobble around here, and they have the arms that bend, and they have kind of bigger hands, I guess. And their feet are big, which is the thing I didn't really like about her that much. And just a lot of the dolls with these bodies in general, because she's wearing Stacy's shoes. So, but they do bend, and they sit she sits really nicely, but, yeah, her body has not aged very well because of her sitting for so long. She just is kind of limp, and if I ever chose to have her be a character that's not in a wheelchair, it would be pretty difficult. But she is a really cute doll, and she's kind of in a twisted position too, like this, because that's how she was sitting in the box. Like she's just kind of wanting to go to that side. I'm pretty sure there's like rubber in there that is what is keeping it, her body together. So I think the rubber is just kind of warped at this point. But she has a kind of cute little outfit on. It's very mid-90s. She has a flower on her shirt with a smiley face, and my sisters totally had shirts like this at that time, in 1997. And she has like a little vest. It's kind of like a jean material, but not really. It's like a corduroy. I don't know. It's a cool material. And of course it comes off. Her outfit is one piece though, the skirt and the shirt, and it has like pockets that she can put her hands in. They are real, so she can, do that if she wanted. She has like little leggings on that are pink, and they are not attached to anything. She has blue shoes that match the rest of the look. And she has a little blue headband and blue earrings that they all match. She has a really cute face. She uses the Teen Skipper face mold. So this is like when Teen Skipper was coming out. But she is not the same body as Teen Skipper. As I said, she is the like Barbie body. So it's kind of interesting. We'll sit her right here. Hopefully she'll sit up. And we will take a look at her wheelchair. So it is purple and pink, and the wheels are sparkly. They have like a iridescent sort of thing to them, or I don't know what Christine calls them, but yeah, we'll just say it's iridescent. And it's like rainbow, but it's not a shifting rainbow, I don't really think anyway. Or is it? Is this hollow? I think this is hollow. This is hollow. Christine would be so proud. Oh my God. I just noticed. And when it's hitting the light, you can see it. I live in a dark house, so anyway, enough about my personal life. So yeah, as I said, the wheelchair, I mean, it is relatively bulky, but it works so well. It's so cool to watch it. Like if you roll it backwards, these wheels turn back, and they turn back like that to wheel backwards, and then to wheel forwards or like this. It's really cool. I'm sorry, like I'm probably making it sound like not that cool, but it's pretty cool. I really like it. It works really well. It's really nicely made. That's what I like about 90s stuff. I'm really getting into 90s Barbies because just the stuff was really well made. Like I was talking about the So Much to Do furniture a while back, and yeah, it was really nicely made. So yeah, this is really good quality. And she sits nicely in it. She doesn't really slouch or anything like that. She just kind of sits there, and yeah, she doesn't have problems like falling out or anything like that. And the dolls can push her, or she can put her hands down, and it has like where she can grab. So it's really nice. It's really cool for photos. You can do a lot of dioramas with this sort of thing. It looks really nice. I do wish that it were maybe more realistic colors. I think her second one was, but I do like this. I think it's really nice. And this is kind of that fun, colorful early to mid 90s Barbie that I feel like is kind of quintessential 90s. But yeah, I think she's a really cute doll. And her controversy surrounding her aside, I think Mattel, like I said, was in the right. They had their heart in the right place when making her. That you can tell they put a lot of attention. Like this wheelchair is really well made and really well designed. It is a really nice toy, and I'm sure a lot of kids, whether they were in a wheelchair or not, really like the doll. So anyway. So she has a book bag, and it is like a pleather material, and it started peeling, but it sits on the back of her wheelchair like this. It was like this in the box, and I left it like that for a while, but it started peeling. So I'm sure you can see that a little bit. So I took it out and I put it back in the box, and I've kept it there since then. And she just doesn't have her bag anymore, but she also has one of the quintessential brushes, and we also get instructions with her, and this just shows how because when she comes in the box, her like wheel guards are they're not on there, so I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, right? anyway, her little things that she could push. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review of Share a Smile Becky. I think that she's kind of a cool, different doll. And she is like she's a quintessential 90s piece of Mattel, Barbie nostalgia. I feel like this doll is very iconic of that era. And I do wish that they would bring something like this back. I don't see that happening with all of the controversy that happened at the time. I'm surprised that they did 2 other incarnations of her. I know that people still want a doll like this on the market, and I can definitely see why. I think that it's important to be represented, and I would hope that Mattel would do something like this again and better accommodate the doll. But I think the fact that this exists, especially from the time that she was made, is really awesome. This is before today where we have the curvy dolls and all of that sort of thing. So visibility has always been important, and I'm glad that that's only strengthened. So anyway, I am going to go, but thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time with another doll review. Until then, please take care. Bye.